President-elect Donald Trump heads to Washington, D.C. today. He'll meet with President Biden in the Oval Office and House GOP leaders on Capitol Hill. Trump has hit the ground running after his victory, swiftly making a series of key cabinet nominations. CBN's George Thomas reports.
President Biden welcomes President-elect Trump back to the White House this morning as part of the orderly transition of power. The Oval Office visit will be the first face-to-face meeting since their debate in June.
The American people deserve this. They deserve a peaceful transfer of power. They deserve a smooth transition. And that's what you're going to see.
All this happening as Trump continues to form his administration. Overnight, he stunned Washington by nominating Fox News host Pete Hegseth to serve as Secretary of Defense. Hegseth, a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan wars and a graduate of Princeton and Harvard, has been vocal about reforming U.S. military leadership. However, his critics argue that he lacks the experience necessary to lead such a powerful agency.
You got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. Obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever, that was involved in any of the DEI woke, it's got to go.
Trump also announced that he's nominating former Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe to head the Central Intelligence Agency. He will be a fearless fighter for the constitutional rights of all Americans while ensuring the highest levels of national security and peace through strength, the president said in a statement. Trump also plans to establish a new department focused on slashing government waste. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will run this yet-to-be-formed department, aiming to streamline the federal government and reduce bureaucracy. Just before meeting Biden, Trump will head to Capitol Hill to meet with congressional Republicans. House Speaker Mike Johnson said his party stands ready to advance Trump's second-term agenda.
On Tuesday, voters rejected what they really felt was the misery of the last 4 years. We're moving on and we're turning the page. And this is something that the American people desperately need and deserve. We are going to raise an America First banner above this place.
On the Senate side, with Republicans in control of the upper chamber, a leadership vote is scheduled for Wednesday. The key contenders for Senate Republican leader include Senators John Thune, John Cornyn, and Rick Scott. George Thomas, CBN News.
Well, I'm all for the optimism. At the same time, I look back to 2016, that first 2-year period where the Republicans controlled Congress, Senate, the White House. They got mired into a lot of hearings, and I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that they actually have a clear path to let's actually govern the country. Let's not get involved in internal strife and internal differences on policy. Let's try to have a united policy going forward. I think it'll be essential, and I hope the Democrats don't just arbitrarily start throwing roadblocks in front of Trump, as they did in 2016, 17, these hearings that literally made no sense. And then once they got control of Congress, they turned it into this full-blown impeachment trial. Let's have some peace in the White House and in Congress, and let's have governance. We need to lead the free world. We don't need to be fighting among ourselves. So my prayer, can we come together as a nation, and can we say we have some very serious problems, whether it's the rise of China trying to influence all of Southeast Asia, all of the Pacific, whether it's the aggression coming out of Russia, the horrible terrorism that Israel faces every single day, the Iranian regime. All of these things require attention, and we shouldn't divert our attention right now into these internal squabbles. Let's have some peace in our capital.